Hello, and thanks for joining us for another episode of Let's Talk. Now in this episode, we're going to be joined by Mike Rahn. Mike is a Marine veteran, he's a conservative, he's a Republican, and he's also running for District 4, Manatee County Board of County Commissioners. Today we're going to get to know Mike a little bit better. We're going to learn about what he's been doing in the community and why that will give him a unique perspective on solving the problems that not only District 4 faces, but the rest of the community. We hope you enjoy getting to know Mike as much as we did. And now a word from our sponsor. Hello, and thanks for joining us on another episode of Let's Talk. Now on this episode, we're joined with Mike Rahn, as I mentioned. Mike, thanks for joining us today.
Dennis, thank you so much for allowing me to be here. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, and thanks again for your service, for serving our country. We really appreciate that.
Thank you. It was an honor to serve our great nation.
Yeah, no, that's great. You were a Marine, is that correct?
That is correct. United States Marine.
All right. And how long were you a Marine?
I was in for 13 years, both active duty and reserve.
Okay.
And during my service, I served at various positions, but my last duty station was at 4th Assault Amphibious Battalion in Tampa, where it's an amphibious track unit.
Wow.
And we went over to Desert Storm with that unit. So it was a great experience to be a Marine, great experience to be able to serve our country.
Yeah. Well, again, like I said, I really appreciate everything you've done. And we're here to actually kind of talk about your experience. We want to learn more about you.
Yeah.
You know, I see that you've been active in the Florida Home Builders, which obviously means you're pro-growth. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but can you tell us more about all of that?
Well, yeah, I can. Thanks, Dennis. I was second vice president of the Florida Home Builder Association, served on various committees at the Home Builder Association. And as you know, the Florida Home Builder Association represents every builder and associate member in the state of Florida. My greatest achievement there was, one, of course, being second vice president and representing all the associate members of the Florida Home Builder Association. But also, I got inducted into the Florida Housing Hall of Fame. And that was a great honor. I was very humbled by that, by being inducted and elected into that, and being part of that great group. We have senators, U.S. senators are part of that group, great leaders across Florida are part of that group. And it was just a great honor to be a part of that and be inducted into that. And as well as being recognized as the Associate of the Year for the Florida Home Builders Association. So that means all the builders vote on the Associate of the Year, and I was honored with that award while I was at Florida Home Builders Association. My greatest achievement, though, is that I had the honor of being the president, the first non-builder president of the Manatee-Sarasota Building Industry Association. Most of the time, they want builders to be the president because it's a builder association.
Of course.
So we changed the bylaws, and I was elected by the membership to be their first non-builder president of a local. So that was a great honor bestowed upon me by the membership of the Manatee-Sarasota Building Industry Association.
Wow, that is fantastic. And that is a big accomplishment, especially with all the growth that we've had here and everything. There's a lot of activity. How is it that you got involved?
Well, it was years ago when I first got into the mortgage business. Lee Weatherington of Lee Weatherington Homes. At that point, we became friends almost 30 years ago. And he said, hey, there's this great group I think you should be a part of. And the Home Builder Association is a great networking group, but also is a great group for advocacy, policy that we address in both counties and with all our other municipalities and the cities and stuff. So Lee got me involved almost 30 years ago.
Wow.
And it's been great ever since. The association has done wonders for me personally and professionally, and it's just been a real blessing to be part of that group.
Yeah, I imagine so. And it's interesting, the decisions and the things that we get involved with and everything. It doesn't surprise me, though. Then I learned about your interest with the homeless vet housing as well as workforce housing. Can you tell us more about those things?
Yeah, and both the Building Industry Association represents both counties. Of course, my interest is in Manatee County, running for District 4 County Commissioner, we have a huge problem in our county with homeless vets, homeless veteran families, and homelessness as a whole. And one of my main focuses will be when I'm elected to District 4 and to represent District 4 and the citizens of Manatee County, is to focus on the homelessness problem we have. Being that we don't want to see anybody living out of a car, we don't want to see anybody living on the streets. There are a lot of social programs we have here in the county that they can use, but I think as a county we can do a lot better job. As a commissioner, I can do a lot better job helping the county develop programs, develop housing for homeless people, homeless vets, homeless families, so they have a place to stay. We found that once a person feels that they have a permanent residence, they become a very active member of society, and they'll be a benefit to the county.
That's great. I know we do have a problem with homeless folks around here. You definitely have your hands full with those, trying to create solutions for that. But I also know that one of the big topics for the county to address is also the foster and the child care needs that for the county has. You are also a member of the Safe Coalition.
It's,
Am I
yes,
saying that right?
we're really happy this year that Manatee County has selected as one of their top 3 issues the foster care program in Manatee County. I currently sit as the vice chair of the Safe Children's Coalition, which falls under the 12th Circuit as far as removing kids from bad positions, bad places, and putting them in foster care. We're the largest foster care program in Manatee-Sarasota, and DeSoto counties. We represent all 3 counties. So what we do is the Safe Children's Coalition is what it stands for. We want to make sure children are safe. We want to make sure they're in great environments where they can live, they can prosper, and become great members of our community. The issue is that we have a lot of it. It goes on, especially what's been happening during the pandemic. We see a lot of children that are being abused physically, sexually, mentally. We see a lot of the parents that are just in a bad place, and we're taking those children out of those places and putting them in foster care. And then hopefully our main goal is to reunite them with their families. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. We have a large drug problem here in Manatee County. A lot of this from the pandemic. People have lost their jobs. People are just in a bad place today. So at the Safe Children's Coalition, what we do is we just try to make children safe and put them in a great environment for themselves. If it's moving them out of foster care into adoptive, or is it putting them back, reuniting them with their families or a family member, and that's what we try to do.
What a great experience for you to have both that as well as your housing experience. It seems like both of those are really issues that Manatee County faces as it's growing. And you also mentioned, obviously, you're running for District 4. Can you tell us more about your district? And
Yeah, District 4, the core District 4 is the core of Manatee County. It's South County. It runs from basically the Bay to 75, from State Road 70, south of University Park. So as you can see, in District 4 is the airport's in District 4, a lot of warehouse space in District 4, 301. And the district is, like I said, the urban core of Manatee County. So the district is a great district. There's great people living, hard working, blue collar folks that live in the District 4 in Manatee County. So I look forward to serving them and being the best commissioner I can for them.
Yeah, as a commissioner, you're going to be faced obviously with a lot of challenges. How is it that a conservative Republican can solve some of these challenges without a tax and spend type of policy?
Well, I think that as a fiscally conservative Republican, I believe in limited government and lower taxes. How we do that is that we get in, I think as a commissioner, with the knowledge I have both in the public and private sector that I can bring to the table, I think we can get in there and look at some of the departments within the county. How can we make them more efficient? As efficiencies go up, less cost is needed to run the county. So, and adding more taxes onto any business or anything in the county does not help the county. It doesn't spur economic development. It doesn't help economic growth within those businesses. So I think as a commissioner, my job is to figure out how we can create economic development for the county, bring businesses to Manatee County. We have an awesome opportunity in Manatee County. We're one of the few counties in the state of Florida that has an airport and a port. So there's great opportunity for economic development. With economic development brings jobs. Jobs bring taxes. and we can help lower overall taxes because of the increase in the jobs, the job market we could have here. We need to bring a lot. We need to bring a lot of workforce to Manatee County. Years ago, we lost a big workforce, and we've been rebuilding ever since. So there's a lot of things we can do. We can bring a lot of clean businesses to Manatee County. We can bring manufacturing to Manatee County. We have a lot of room at the port to be able to put businesses out for Manatee County. So one of my main focuses is going to be economic development. How do we develop Manatee County beyond the next 10 years or even 20 years? What is the county going to look like?
Yeah, I like it. I love it because we are a growing community. We've got a lot of folks moving here. Is there anything special or specific, I should say, about your policies that you want to take care of right away in your district?
In District 4, I think one of the biggest issues is that we have some crime and homelessness in District 4, and that's just unfortunate. One of my biggest goals is to meet with the sheriff, sit down with the sheriff. We have a great sheriff in Ricky Wells. He's just an awesome guy. And to be able to sit down with him and say, how do we develop a plan to where we can make District 4 a safer district? And sit down with the social services groups and say, how can we make District 4 work on the homeless issue in District 4? Being it's part of the urban core, that's where everybody gravitates to. And we need to work hard both with the public sector, which is the county, and the private sector, which is the businesses in District 4, to figure out what we need to do to make District 4 the best district in Manatee County. I am going to represent District 4, and I want resources coming into District 4. Granted that resources have to go to other places where things are being built in other districts, but my goal is to figure out what we need to do in District 4. How do we make District 4 better? How do we do it and not tax everybody in District 4? But how do we do it economically, fiscally conservative, and make District 4 a better place for all the citizens within District 4 to live?
I like it. One of the challenges that voters often have is, they'll see several qualified people, they'll see different folks on the campaign. Obviously, you are running against an incumbent. If they had to understand the differences about you and the person that might also be on the ballot as well, give us some contrast. Tell us about the differences between you and your opponent.
Well, I think the biggest difference between my opponent and myself is that I'm not a big government person. I'm not a tax and spend person. I'm not a person that wants to burden the businesses of Manatee County with additional fees or taxes or whatever my opponent thinks that they need. Big difference is I've been in the public and private sector in various leadership positions across, even here in the state. And I think the biggest difference is I have the leadership skills to hit the ground running. I've been on the Planning Commission, Manatee County Planning Commission, for over 5 years now. So that's a great wealth of knowledge on how the county's comp plan runs, land development code, land development regulations, and reviewing those plans that come in front of the Planning Commission. Then we send those up to the BOCC. So I've already had that experience for 5 years, being on the Planning Commission. So I think that gives me a great wealth of knowledge already on the comp plan side. Me being in the private sector, I've ran businesses. I'm a mortgage banker here for 30 years. So I've worked with hundreds of families, helping them attain the American dream. So I think you see with the contrast is going to be is that I'm a conservative Republican. I'm a fiscally conservative Republican. I'm a real Republican. And I believe in the big contrast. I don't believe that government should mandate anything to the free citizens of Manatee County and the United States of America. I don't think a county should overregulate the citizens, which we have seen that happen already. I don't think that as a commissioner, you should have the power just to mandate close churches, close businesses, mandate masks, and just impose your will on the personal freedoms that we have here in Manatee County. And I think that one of the biggest things is too, I'm a big Second Amendment proponent. I believe in constitutional carry. I believe in the First Amendment. I believe in our Constitution, which you'll never hear me bash, because I swore to protect and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So I think there's a big contrast between our philosophical beliefs. Running Manatee County is a business, and we have to look at it as a business, and we have to treat it as a business. And I think that's what you saw with President Trump. When he came into office, he looked at America as a business. Granted, some of his policies some people didn't like, but I think we were a lot better off when he was in than we are today. We have a great governor, Governor DeSantis, who has looked at Florida as a business. And how do we run this as a business to impact Florida in the best way we can economically for the citizens of Florida. So he's done a phenomenal job in doing that. In fact, I'm pushing for a new park in Manatee County to be named Governor Ron DeSantis Park, because our great governors kept Florida free and kept Manatee County free and kept us essential and kept us moving forward through this whole pandemic.
Wow, that is great. Well, you certainly drew some good contrast there, so I appreciate you going through all that. How's the campaign going?
Campaign's going great. We've been embraced by a lot of different folks. Hitting all the Manatee Republican Party REC, becoming a member of that. Manatee Patriots, which is a great organization, great patriots there. The Manatee Republican Liberty Caucus, I'm speaking in front of them. Hitting everywhere I could hit to let the people hear my work, hear what I'm about, who I am, where I think the future of Manatee County needs to go. So we've been embraced. Endorsements are coming in very well. So we're looking always for more endorsements. And so I think it comes down to the differences of what District 4 wants. Mm-hmm. Does District 4 want to be flourishing economic development, less crime, less homelessness, less tax burden, or what we have currently in that seat? So working with and I've met with business people across the spectrum of what their ideas are too of how we can bring that economic development into District 4. Because again, it is the urban core. So people are naturally drawn to the urban core. So how do we work with the businesses to do that? And I think District 4 is a phenomenal. I live in District 4, of course. I live in Palmyra. So I see what goes on every day. I drive through it. I experience it. And so, I think the campaign's going well. We're going to hit the streets here very shortly. Everybody's going to knock on doors.
Right.
So we're going to be knocking on doors here very shortly. Website's getting dropped next week. Facebook page getting dropped next week. We've only been 2 months into this, so we've gained a lot of recognition, a lot of name recognition, and so I think the campaign's going very well to this point.
That's awesome. If somebody wanted to reach out to you after looking at this, and they're like, "Hey, I've got a question for Mike," what's the best way they can get in touch with you?
Well, I was telling the chair of the Manatee County Commission that when I get elected, I'm going to take the door off my office. Because I think you have to have an open door policy as a county commissioner for not just the district, but for all the citizens to come in, sit down with you, tell us their needs, and But if people, I'll always give up my personal cell number. My personal cell number is 941-713-2420. They can reach me on Facebook. Reach out and friend me on Facebook, or they can reach me at Rahn RAHN District 4 on Instagram. And then once we have our Facebook page out and our website out, I'll be blasting out on all my social media to get out to the citizens to reach out to me. I have citizens calling me now. We've had some great conversations with some folks. So if you need something, call me. I never shy away. I won't back down. I won't shy away.
I love it.
So reach out anytime you'd like.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you spending some time here today and telling us a little bit more about yourself. I think with your time in the Marines, the positions that you've served with the Florida Home Builders, and your time also with the Children's Safe Coalition, it certainly gives you a different perspective as well that you can come at and attack the problems that are plaguing not only your district but the county as well. So I look forward to a lot of the things that you can do for us here, and I wish you the best of luck in your campaign. I know we only barely scratched the surface. Yeah. I know it's it's difficult to squeeze all this in a short period of time. So we'd love to have you back.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and so if there's anything else that we can do, if you want to let the viewers know anything. Sure.
We'll be out with petition cards.
Okay.
So with the change in the redistricting, it was always limited to the district unless you went out running at large. So now I can have any citizen of Manatee County can help sign a petition card.
Okay.
So when I see you out on the streets or run into you in the store or just in church or whatever, if you'd be more than kind to sign one of my petition cards, because that's how we get on the ballot, and that's what I'd really appreciate that.
All right, awesome. Well, Mike, thanks again for your
time. Thanks, Dennis.
Today.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Take care, everybody.